Wait, wow. Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking a little bit about money and what we wish we would have done with our money when we were younger, right?
Yeah. What we wish we would have done with the money when we were younger, because you know what? I made a lot of dumb decisions. I
Yes,
have
you
made a lot
did.
of financial dumb decisions in my life, and those are decisions that have cost me a
Why don't you
lot.
tell the public a few of those bad
I
financial decisions so that they can
I
know?
have done well. Some of them were, before you met me. I have bought very expensive, TVs. I have bought, very expensive sneakers. I used to have a lot of Jordans, and I have never bought myself another pair of Jordans, unless I get them on sale. But I really don't buy myself, Jordans anymore. But I have made, like expensive, cars, expensive Jordan sneakers, expensive TVs, and expensive, technology devices, because I do like technology. So I wish I did not make those decisions when I was younger, and thought about other things that we're gonna get into, because I would have been better off.
For me, it was the shopping. We did, well, especially when we got married. I think we spent a lot of money on shopping. We would go to the outlets like every 3 months and just spend a couple $1,000s. Which at the moment we were two young, kidless individuals, and we didn't pay much for rent. So it was, and we both had pretty good income, right? So it was like, oh, let's do this. And we went, we traveled a lot. We went on vacation a lot. Like every year
We
we were
do, we
going.
still do, but we just
Well,
have more
we stopped
expenses.
taking vacations
No,
for
no,
a
I'm saying
while.
we still got, we still have pretty good incomes, but it's just
Oh yeah. No,
the
no,
more
yeah.
money you get, the more
More
expenses
problems,
and more
right?
problems you're gonna have. Who said that? I'm quoting
Mace
someone. Oh, it was him.
and
Okay.
Puff Daddy, I think it was.
Oh,
More money,
one
more
of them.
problems.
Yeah.
But but yeah, so like for me it was the shopping, the purses, the watches, the clothing, and going on vacations and going out to eat a lot. That was a big one. I literally will go out to eat. When I used to work, I would buy lunch every day at my job in the city, and
I remember
that was
that.
when I used to work in the city. And then on the weekends, like literally every other weekend, we would go out to eat and spend $150, $200 just on restaurants. So
Yeah, I
that
don't
was
do that. I have never
that
done
was
that.
bad. No.
I think I with money, it's just when I spend big, right? But I'm not a person that is always spending on things. But when I do
No,
spend,
it's a
I
couple thousand.
I do spend. I spend big. The
Me, I
times
don't spend big, but I'm always buying stuff.
exactly. So like that's how we different. Like I do spend big when I do spend. I like that. I do spend big when I do spend. You know,
Yeah.
but
Maybe I should try that.
no, but like that's really like it's really a bad thing, because
Yeah.
I wish I did things differently, right? And
Like what
I
I
didn't.
spend it throughout, like 6 months, you'll spend it on one purchase,
Yes,
which
yes,
is a
yes,
lot.
and buying expensive
Yeah.
purses, and
You'll come out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, so I want this $10,000 motorcycle." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like,
well
you don't even have a place to park it." Let's not
would
forget the motorcycle.
I did buy myself a motorcycle, and I rode it. I rode the motorcycle for for a few years, and then it was it. I had to get
And there
rid
was
of
a
it.
time that we were paying for parking in the Bronx, right? It started at $300 a month, and then it was how much? Like four? Like
No,
four
no, they stayed at 3 something.
when you quit?
It was never. It was
No,
never
it went
like
up a little
400.
bit. It went up a little bit.
But never 400.
And then you stopped paying for parking, and then when you went to go pay for parking again, it was like 450, and we were like, "Nah, we're not gonna do that."
Yeah.
But we paid 300, 350, I think, a month
I
for
think-
like a good year,
Or did it
which if you
25,
add it
something
up,
like that.
it's a lot.
You just randomly say numbers. I
It
don't
was
think
three. It was three. It was more than three. It was definitely more than $300 a month. I remember because I was like, dang, like $300 a month for parking. That was a lot.
Yeah,
That was a lot.
Yeah, but as individuals, people do make
I know people are probably gonna watch this and be like 300. Like it's $600 now. We
Wow.
don't have that problem.
That's crazy. But
anymore,
people,
but-
a lot of us, right? And a lot of the listeners, we can all relate to this, that we make financial dumb decisions, and it's a time now as you get older, hopefully
You learn.
hopefully as you get older you learn, because there are still people that make dumb financial decisions the older they get, right? I believe, man, like what is it? They go into what do you call that? When they start doing things that they never did when they were
Midlife
young.
crisis.
Midlife
That's not
crisis.
just men. It happens to women too.
Well,
It happens
women
to
too, where they
people.
start, instead of like, spending less, they spend more too
They start
during
doing all
that
kinds
time.
of crazy stuff.
Oh, and exactly. So, what should be? what you think, you should have done better?
I wish if I had the sense and maybe the knowledge to have done it, I would have definitely contributed more to my retirement plans at work.
Yeah.
Especially because they were matching me a good
Yeah.
6%, I think it was. I would have definitely contributed at least that 6 to 10%. I think I in the beginning I was only doing like 5, and then eventually I made my way up to like 10. But I wish I would have just stuck to that. And I wish that I would have just been able to say no to the invitations to go out to eat every week, because realistically thinking back on it, like in a month, when I did the math one time, it was literally like $800 on restaurants every
Maybe the
month.
eating out all day, every day. That's one of the things that gets me when I see people
Well, the
doing
every
that.
day for me was not so bad, because I would buy the food in Manhattan, and then it would be like maybe $15 or $20, and then I would just split it for 2 days. I would buy like a soup, or I would buy like a salad.
Have
that
you
I could
ever
just split for 2
calculated how much money you spend or people spend on that daily lunch,
Yeah.
5 days a week?
I'm just
And
a really picky eater, though.
and
You
now
know
with all
that.
these apps, man, like
He's literally been eating the same thing
That's
for
right.
work for the past 15
I
years
do
that
mix
I've
it up.
known him.
I do mix it
No,
up.
you don't.
I do
You've literally
sandwiches.
been eating bread, ham, and cheese with a little bit of mayonnaise for the past 15 years. The only thing that you mix up is that your snack. You either have nuts or Doritos or like an oatmeal.
No.
But like you've literally been eating the same thing for the past 15
No,
years for
obviously
lunch.
she does not know what to eat, but
That's
I
what he
do
eats.
I do eat tuna fish too. I really like the
Okay,
tuna fish.
maybe like once a week.
which is something that I do include too. And I also love overnight oats, so I do take also eat for lunch. If you guys want to know about it, let me know. But I do eat for lunch overnight oats
Yeah,
too.
but that's a new thing that you haven't been doing that for more than about a
Yeah.
year.
Maybe, but what I'm trying to say is that it really bothers me, and people do whatever they want to do with their money. Like I literally, I'm just here
But it's a
talking.
good financially. That's a good thing. What you
No,
do.
I know,
Like,
but
it's-
yeah. But
a good
I mean, I'm here talking, but
Like-
you're gonna do whatever you want with your money. I mean,
you
you don't
make
have
yourself
to.
the sandwich. I'm gonna go to.
You don't
I'm
have
gonna
to
go
listen to
eat.
me. When it has to do with your money, you work for your money. You do whatever you want with your money. Like literally, like you don't have to listen to me. But I'm just saying, me personally, it really bothers me when a person is making a dumb financial decision of spending money every day, like spending on lunch, spending on breakfast, and then you paying all these apps, all these delivery apps,
Yeah,
you're
that's
spending and giving them a delivery, money for something that you could go get yourself. You can go get that yourself too. So really think about it. Think about it. Me, right? You mentioned one, right, already? One thing
one?
that you would have done
Oh
differently.
yeah, I would have invested. Yeah, in my 401k.
Invested. I want to touch
And not
on
went
that.
out to eat as much.
I want to touch on that because I also, I wish, when I was younger, I put money aside to, even if it was $10, and there was a time that I actually did it, but I wish I put more money aside to buy me a home, right? When I was younger, I think I would have been better off, at the time, when I bought myself a house, I would have been better off during that time when I bought myself a house. I would have more money to put down, right? If I would have started, during my high school years, when I started working or something like that. But I didn't. I started super late, and obviously I did not put much during that time, So I wish, I put money aside. One good strategy that I learned from someone was that from every check that you get, you should put at least 100 or 200 or $250, aside.
10%, really.
Exactly, for your savings account. Like, I mean, if you got the money, because I do understand that some people are struggling. We live in a time right now where inflation is super high, all the interest rates are super high, so some people cannot afford it. But if you can afford it, guys, just take $200, aside and put it in a savings
forget
account.
about it, yeah.
Put it in a savings account that is giving you a good, high interest rate, and you're gonna see how that money's gonna grow.
I wish that I would have. Taken like maybe like a little, just educated myself more. Taking like a little financial course or money management course, just so that I could see the options that I had available to me and really understand how to manage my money,
Yeah.
right? Because I always know how to do a
Yeah.
budget, like that part, like. My mom taught me from when I was a little girl, like when you get money, this is
Yeah.
the first thing you
Yeah.
do. You take out the bills
Yeah.
that you need to pay, and and then you start paying your bills little by little, and then whatever's left over, X, Y, and Z. But nowadays we have so many financial resources available to people that you can actually like really just be more educated and more intentional with how you spend your money and what you do with your money.
So we're talking about maybe, you mentioned, invest your money. You mentioned also take a financial literacy course, right? Which is something that I believe that schools, should be teaching, right? Instead of teaching about so many nonsense, right? Or
right.
So many things that
I feel like this is something that they don't want you to know.
That really don't help you in life. I think they should, really help you how to, or teach you how to run a business, how to invest, how to, talk about the market, talk about how to buy a home and stuff like that. I really think that we should really talk about that. So we're talking about, invest, right? That's something you should have done differently.
Save.
Take a financial course. I'll say, like not spend, not make big spend, not spend big, right?
Right.
What else? Like, can we?
I feel like learning how to say no will take you a long way, right? Because I feel like it's always somebody's birthday. It's always somebody's, celebration. It's always somebody's something. And I like to give gifts. I'm a big, I really do like to give. He's not a gifter. I like to give, but I think over the years I have.
I'm a gifter to my sister. I'm a gifter to my kids.
No. You started gifting after we got married. You were like, oh, why are you buying these people gifts? And I'm just like, they're your own family. Like, what do you mean?
No.
Yes, stop. Let's not. But anyway. But
I've been gifting people all my life.
No, you have not. No, you don't make me call your family members over here to have this conversation.
God. I've been gifting people all my life.
Anyway,
things have not changed.
Have not. But anyway, I think that over the years I have learned that, gifting doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be expensive. And I think that gifting, it just has to be thoughtful, and you have to learn how to stay within your budget, right? So if you know that, for example, we have big families. He has 10 brothers and sisters, and, blended family. And I have, 4 brothers and sisters, and they all have kids. Almost all of them have kids. His siblings have kids. So I think that, when you think about how many birthdays in a year and how many events in a year for these people, like, I think you have to be mindful, especially if you come from a big family, of what's reasonable for you and for your family if you want to build for yourself, and learning how to say no. Because it's like sometimes you want to please everybody. You don't want nobody to be offended. You want everybody to be happy with you. But just really learning how to say, you know what? And it doesn't mean that you can't gift anything, but it doesn't have to be $100 gift. It can be a $25 gift. It could be a $50 gift. It could be, something along those lines.
Yeah. I'm sorry. My back just, I was like, but yeah, invest, get a 401k, think about your career. Those are things that you can do, when you're young, right? Those are things that you should think about when you're young. I know that you guys, who are younger, and I'm young. Like, trust me, I get it. I'm still young. But you don't think about these things. But as you get older, guys, if these decisions are going to affect you, later on in life. So these are things that you really gotta think about it. Get a job that gives you a 401k. Get a job that gives you, medical benefits.
Medical benefits is a big one.
That is gonna help your financial, state or it's gonna put you in another tax bracket. Like, trust me, because you know how much is a medical bill.
It's a lot.
I know that because I know that you get all those calls, from those agents, asking you like, hey, listen,
to pay your medical
bills. So, those are all stuff, right, that you can do from now, from a young age, and you still got time. Make sure that your credit is good. Make sure that you have good credit, because without good credit, like, you can't buy a home. Without credit, right, you can't buy a car. Without credit, you can't do anything. Here.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that would have definitely done at a much younger age is set aside money for buying a home. We spent 10 years, I think it was, in an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment in the Bronx. And thank goodness, right, that they had frozen the rent for like a year. 3 years they have frozen the rent while we were there. So we paid $11.05, I remember, for a while. And then it went up to like $11.49 or something like that. And then when we left, it was only like $1,200. 10 years we were there. But by the time we left, I remember checking the apartments nearby, and even in that same building.
Outside. Jesus
the
Christ.
bugs.
When you record outside, I just got a bug through my nose. Maybe it's inside.
That's why I'm
sorry, I interrupted you.
Stuff. Maybe
I
it's in your
interrupted
brain
you.
now.
But continue. I'm sorry.
But by the time we left, I remember 10 years after we had been living there, the apartments, even in our own building, the one bedroom apartments were going for like $1,500, $1,600. And I'm pretty sure now we've been out of the apartment for three years. I'm pretty sure now one bedroom around that area is probably close to 2,000, maybe 1,800, 1,900. And I remember telling him when our rent was 1,200, because we wanted a bigger space and we had went to look for the 2 and 3 bedrooms. I remember that when we checked around, the 2 bedrooms at the time were like 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, 1,800. And I was like, I'm not paying $1,800 for an apartment in the Bronx to make somebody else rich when there's no parking.
That's right.
Right? My garbage is not taken care of. There's no there's rats everywhere. There's no way that I was gonna pay $2,000 a month for that. And I remember telling him, like, I'd rather sacrifice, I'd rather do what we gotta do and pay for a mortgage, even if it's $2,000-$3,000. I thought, and we're gonna be tight on money, but at least we're investing in ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Because if now you're making someone else rich,
and that was my priority. Like, we've been 3 years in this house. It hasn't been easy, but you know what? We've made it up to here. And again, at the end of the day, if we want to sell the house tomorrow, thankfully the market has gone up. Our investment has gone up, and we'll get something back for it.
Yeah. My mentality changed because like I didn't want to make someone else rich. Why not give myself that money? Like
if you did the math, $1,000, we would $1,200 a year, a month. That was what, 11, 12, 13, like $14,000, $15,000 a year to give to somebody else for a 1 bedroom where we didn't even have space for. It was a one, but it was, and our apartment was not that small.
No.
But, it was still a 1 bedroom compared to what you get when you buy a house.
Yeah, I agree. So
invest in yourself.
Invest. That's the best advice someone can give you guys. Just invest. Put money aside. Be smart. Just be smart.
And make better decisions, right? And if you're married, like, just, sit down with your partner and try to just be on the same page as well. And even if you're not married, if you live with kids, if it's just you, a single mom with your child, and your child is older already and they can work or whatever the case is, get together on the same page so that you guys can make financial decisions together and work towards the same goals, right? Because it's easier when you have people that live with you on the same page to get it accomplished. And for the young people, it may seem like it's far away, because I remember when I was like 18, this lady told me what you said, like, oh, put $100 every week. And I was like, ay, esta vieja, she don't know what she's talking about. I wish I would have listened to her, right? 18 years old, and I was like, oh, that's not going to be me. And then now in retrospect, I'm like, that's what I should have been doing all along.
That's right. Just save, guys. Invest, We just hope, you make better financial decisions. Your financial decisions are not going to affect me,
Nope.
But, it's your choice, you know what to do, so you know what to do with that money.
Yep.
Peace.
Bye.